Today, we are diving deep into the world of online gurus and guru courses. After spending over $250,000 of my own money and being in this business for over 20 years, I've seen just about everything. From clickbait, to fake webinars, and fake reviews, to downright investment cons and fake guru courses. In today's training, we are exposing the shady tactics used to try to get you to part with your hard-earned money. Plus, we will learn exactly how to spot the good gurus and find courses that will actually help you make money online, and even how to find that information free. All right here, right now, on Affiliate Marketing Dude. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, click the bell, and smash that like button. Today, what we're doing is talking about the truth about guru courses. This video potentially could save you a lot of money and could make you a lot of money. Disclaimer, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. I have no idea who you are or what you're going to do, so I have no idea how much you'll save or you're going to make. Now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to get to the bottom of guru courses. We're going to start to understand exactly what you need to know before you buy anything pertaining to making money online. Now, as you guys have known, I've been doing this business for over 20 years. Actually, pretty soon it'll be my 21st year in business as an internet marketer and affiliate marketer. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk to you about what I learned over those 20 years and how that's going to help you and how it's going to help you make good decisions in your business. Because a lot of people that aren't where they want to be are making bad decisions in their business. And oftentimes it's not their fault. It's because someone knows how to get you to part with your hard-earned money. So we're going to expose a lot of that today. We're going to talk about what you really need to do to start to understand what's going on. We're going to talk to you about some tactics that people are using that are shady. We're going to talk to you about things that are legit. And we're going to show you how to arm yourself with the information that you need to be able to make the right decision about what to go into, what to purchase, and everything like that. So smash the like button. Today's lineup is going to be a special one. Probably going to go a little bit longer today, probably an hour, a little bit more than an hour, because we got a lot of ground to cover. This is the lineup. So if you're taking notes, part number one, I'm going to share with you what I learned over the last 21 years, how it pertains to people scamming people, how it pertains to getting where you want to go, how I actually started. I actually have a book up there if I can find it. I have the first ebook that I ever bought pertaining to making money online. And we're going to show you what I learned and what's helped me, what actually helped me get where I want to go. Now, I have an idea in my brain that if someone is determined to make money online, they're going to do it with or without a guru course. Now, do courses help? Absolutely. We're going to talk to you about that. The right courses can help. The wrong ones will just make things worse and make you broke. So got to watch out for those. Part number two, we're going to talk about the common guru scam tactics, the things that they're using that go below the radar. Like, you might not even notice this. I was just doing the notes for this, and before I went on my walk with my wife, which we do every morning, I checked my Facebook, and there was like this post of this guy who was a sponsored ad, and he's like, hey, look at this. I'm getting all this search engine rankings. And I'm like, well, I've been doing this 20 years. I know how to see through that. So I'm going to teach you how to see through things as well. So part two, we're going to go through the common guru scams. Part number three, we're going to talk to you about why you need to be wary of free. There is a cost to free stuff, and sometimes it's a bigger cost than paid stuff. Part number four, we're going to talk about what is worth paying for. Now, this goes for my stuff as well. So when you're watching my trainings and my webinars, use this guide on me. Look at it, say, hey, you know, is this legit? Is it something that can work for everyone? And we're going to show you how to do that. So take some notes, and I want you to take these notes and go over to downloadmynotes.com, print these notes out, and when you have these notes, have them with you when you go on a webinar or a training and look at it and say, hey, is this something I want to do? Because what it's going to do is it's going to save you from making an impulse decision. There doesn't need to be any impulse decision, right? I've been making money using the same stuff for 21 years. There's nothing that mind-blowingly new. There are some tactics that you can learn and some things, but overall, it's not like there's some mind-blowing thing. So let's go ahead and dive in. If you're excited about this, smash that like button, give us a subscribe, and if you're watching the replay, put the comments below. Tell us the last product you bought, and if you feel comfortable, tell us how much it costs you. And, you know, you could even give it a grade. Say, I I liked it or I didn't like it. So part number one, we're going to go through and I'm going to talk to you about what I learned over the last 21 years. Let me see if I can find that book for you. I think that'll be really good. Here it is. This is one of the first info products I purchased. And this is actually the first info product I ever purchased. I actually had to print them out myself. I think this one came printed out, but I had to put it in a new binder because it's like 22 years old now. Now, we got to look at this and we got to start to understand it. When I first started in internet marketing, I didn't have a lot of money. There was a course that I purchased that was $67. It might as well have been $10,000. And I purchased that course and I got into it and it was absolute junk. It was terrible, but there were some things that I could piece together to actually learn how to do stuff. So it was worthwhile to me. And that's one of the things you want to look at is sometimes what's worthwhile to you might not be worthwhile to another person. Sometimes I could go to someone and they'll say, hey, change the color of your order button. And that could be worth like a couple $100,000 a year to me if it's done right. So we have to understand that and we have to look at it. Now, when I first started, the first info product I bought, I used to be a magician, and this was the first one I bought. It was How to Get More Magic Gigs. Now, I didn't read the course. I didn't go through the entire course. I actually learned just the ad writing tactics, and from that, I was able to make a lot of money. So this one was well worth it, and this guy actually went on to be an internet marketer, which is kind of funny. There's actually a lot of magicians in internet marketing. This one was probably the most pivotal, most important product I bought. This was called Nothing But Net. I bought it back in like the year 2000, 2001 for $97. And this one taught me, hey, this is the story of a guy who went out there and he got rankings on the search engines for like different cell phone terms and different things like that. So this one was very worthwhile and that one was good. Right now, I want you to look at it. I didn't buy that course because it said, here's a new whiz-bang way to make money. No, I bought the course because it was specific about something I wanted. Now, one of the things I want to really have you pay attention to is the fact that there are literally hundreds, maybe even thousands of launches every month. Now, one of the things that you'll know about me is if you go to downloadmynotes.com or affiliatemarketingdude.com, I don't promote anything and everything. I don't. Like, I probably promote 2, maybe 3 affiliate products a year, and those are products that I actually use myself. Those are people I actually know. Now, right now, if you were to go over to Muncheye or JV Newswatch or JV Notify Pro or JV Zoo, you're going to see there's launches for everything. There's the newest, latest, greatest whiz-bang product that's out there for everything. Here is a Skype conversation from a guy who found me out of the blue, and he's like, hey, you know, I know you got a list. I know your people like to buy things. I want you to promote my offer. And so I looked at it, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't think this offer is something my list would want. It wasn't a good fit. It wasn't a decent product. I was like, yeah, that's kind of, you know, weird. And he's like, but you could make so much money. And I'm like, yeah, but at what cost? Like, is it worth it to me to make so much money if my customers end up feeling duped or feel like they're not getting what they paid for or feeling like I led them down a rabbit trail? Of course not, right? And this guy went on and he was relentless. Like you could see here, he was on July 7th, and then he didn't finally be quiet until like well over a month later. And I'm like, dude, I'm just not going to respond to you anymore because I'm not going to promote your stuff. And every single month, people come at me and say, hey, promote this, promote that. This is the greatest thing. This is going to make you so much money. And it might. Like there was a time in my career years ago when I first started teaching internet marketing, right? I had done internet marketing for 8 years before I started teaching, and I only got into teaching because people asked me to, and I actually found out I really enjoy it. Like I love talking to you guys. I love teaching you guys new things. I like to see when you guys get success. And years ago, there was a product that it was like a product where you pay $47 and then $2,000 and then $10,000, and then pretty soon they get you for like $60,000. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the product? And at the end of the day, the product was pretty much like, go sell this product to other people and you'll make a bunch of money. Now, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I still know today because there are still products like this today, I could make an extra 7 figures with it. But I'm not going to do it because it's not in the best interest. And it's not something everyone can do. How many people can promote the same exact product for the same exact price and actually make it work well? There comes a saturation point. This is what happens with like network marketing and everything like that, which we'll get into a little bit later. Now, yes, it is true. I actually spent over $250,000 of my own money on training, on softwares, on whiz-bang products. Just like you, I went to seminars that were like disguised pitch fests. I remember when I had my first seminar that I put on for my customers, and they're like, why aren't you pitching anything? And I'm like, because you paid to come and learn. And they're like, every seminar I've ever been to, like they try to get you for 10 grand and 100 grand and 50 grand. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you already paid to come here. So, you know, I really don't have anything for sale except for what you came here to learn. And, you know, it's kind of eye-opening to me that this kind of thing does go on in the industry. The most expensive course I ever bought was this one here, which we'll get into in a little bit and talk about, was it worth it? I spent 10 grand on this course. Was it worth it? The first course I bought was the $67 one, and it ended up not being worth it. However, because I was diligent, I literally printed everything out in there, and I learned enough stuff to make it worthwhile. The best course in the beginning was Nothing But Net, which is this one here, which was by Michael Campbell, no relation, even though he does have the last name Campbell. Really great stuff. Met some people through that course and through what they were doing, and learned a very specific tactic. The first one I bought, which was $67, was kind of like, buy this and you're going to get rich. They didn't tell me how. They didn't tell me why. It was just buy this and you're going to learn to make money. I was duped into that one, and, you know, was it worth it? Well, in hindsight, there was probably some things I learned. Was it honest based on the sales pitch? No. The best one, the Nothing But Net, totally honest, totally awesome. Now, the $10,000 a year course, this is one after I started making money. I started doing SEO and search engine stuff, and this was a course that was supposed to teach you everything about how to rank at the top of Google, and it ended up being a total pitch fest. It was not worth it. They made millions on that course and later got into trouble, but this $10,000 course was not as good as the $97 book I got. Not even close, because the things that I learned in the book actually surpassed it, because what happened was this one went too much into detail and told me too many things I didn't really need to know, which was a waste. Now, one of the things I will tell you when you get into buying guru courses, and we got a lot to cover, if you want to save your butt from like making the wrong decision, watch this entire training, okay? Very important. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is don't buy secrets or concepts, all right? Concept, like if I say, hey, I'm going to show you the best way to make money online. It's something you've never heard before. It made me $10,000 in a week. It did all this. It did all that. That would be a concept. You're buying the concept. And this is kind of like years ago when I used to be a magician. As a magician, when you buy tricks, sometimes you feel duped because you're like, I just paid $80 for this, and all it is a double-sided dollar bill. And you're like, I just paid $80 for a glued dollar bill. And you're like, I kind of feel ripped off. But, you know, does it do what's promised? You know, that's within debate. But we have to look at this, and we don't really want to buy secrets or concepts. We want to buy concrete stuff. And we're going to go into this in part number 4, where we're going to talk to you about what you need to focus on, what you need to know before you buy anything. Very important. Another thing that I'll leave you with that has helped me, right? Was the 250 grand I spent a waste? No, there were some things I learned. There were some things where I bought like a $2,000 software that ended up being a complete piece of crap, where we need to push the BS button. But, you know, you have to look at that and understand it. Now, we need to understand that you need to learn what you need, when you need it, and get out. This is very important. So many people just want to make money online. If you just want to make money online, you are perfectly ripe for the people that are selling the junk. Why? Because you don't know where you're going. Now, when I went and I invested in most of the stuff, with the exception of the $67 thing, I actually went and I said, I want to learn this skill. I want to learn SEO. I want to learn YouTube. Spent $2 grand on a course a couple months ago on YouTube stuff. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. Very specific things I wanted to learn from very specific people. Now, another thing to watch out for is Pitch Fest seminars. These are where you get like a free seminar, and you go to the seminar and they're like, get your wallet out and get your friend's wallet out and get everyone's wallet out and give it to us. These are very scary. You got to watch out for them. When you go to a seminar, leave your wallet at home. Get a printout of what you're going to do. Very important. Also, one of the things I want to focus on is tactics versus strategies. Now, there are people all over the place, especially here on YouTube, that are young people that started something, they got lucky, they made some money, now they're selling a course about how to do it. Is it a tactic or is it a strategy? There are things in internet marketing where someone will get lucky, right place, right time, go viral, make a bunch of money, but you can't duplicate it. This is important because if you're buying something that can't be duplicated, you're being duped. You got to look at the difference between tactics and strategies. Is it a strategy? Guys, I've been doing this for 21 years. The strategy's been the same. There's been some tactics I've learned across the way that have helped me, but I would never invest in just a tactic unless it was something solid that I knew I needed. Maybe how to increase the clicks on your order button or something like that. Now, one of the other things I found in 21 years of doing this, I bought a lot of stuff. I've seen people buy a lot of stuff. I've talked to a lot of people. Very important. And what I've found is there's literally no support whatsoever. Okay, now they have support like if you can't log in or if you need to pay your bill, but they're not there to listen. They're not there to give you help when you need it. And here's the thing. You're gonna need help. This is a complicated business. There's a lot of little nuances. Can it be simplified? Absolutely. Will you need help? Will you need someone to look at your page? Will you need someone to look at this or that? Absolutely. You're going to need help. So the question is where are they after you buy into the course, right? Most of the time, the help is a phone call with some coaching guru that tries to get you to buy something else. They don't actually care about your success. They don't actually care about what you're doing. Now, for me, one of the things that we added years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago, was our Tuesday calls, right? If you buy any product from me, you get access to Tuesday calls. And the Tuesday calls, we go through and we're like, hey, you hop on Tuesday, and, you know, if you get Simple Sites or Mentor Me or High Ticket Niche, you get the Tuesday calls. And every Tuesday, you come on and you bring your sites and you talk about what you're going through. You show me your rankings. You show me what you're doing. Just yesterday, we were talking to a guy. He invested $400 or $300 in traffic, and he made 400. And I'm like, dude, you're right there. I just told him some little tips. I said, do this, and you'll be able to make more. He already made $100. That's pretty cool. Results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed. But, you know, you can look at that, and those are the things you need. You need someone in your corner that's going to help you. Now, go ahead and comment below with the last product you got, or put it in the box if you bought a product recently. Part number 2 we're going to get into here is the common guru scam tactics. What are the gurus using that goes undetected? Here's a screenshot that I saw on a Facebook ad this morning, the one I was talking to you about. And he's like, look at this. Look at all my arrows. I rank for this keyword term. I'm badass. I kick ass. And I take names. I mean, look at that. You're just pushing that money button over and over. You're like, he's ranking. He's right there. I can go to Google. I could see his sites. I see that he's there. And it looks really good until you know what you're looking for. I knew right away, okay, Anaheim bankruptcy expert doesn't get a lot of traffic. Like I looked it up, and literally it gets like it gets between 0 and 10 searches a month. 0 and 10. So chances of you getting 1 click is really, 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 really low. All right. I looked at it. He's like, hey, I got a YouTube video that's ranking for the term. Yeah, it's got 175 views over the course of like 5 years. So you're literally getting like 5 views a year or 20 views a year or something like that. That's nothing. And most of the views, there's no likes or dislikes, which tells me most of the views are coming from people checking to see if you got views, which is nothing. We also see, if I did a reverse search on a lot of his sites, there's no keywords ranking. He ain't ranking for nothing. So you would look at this and you'd say, wow, you know, the guy's ranking. But the fact of the matter is sometimes you don't know what you don't know. This is important. When you go to buy stuff online, you might not know what you don't know. And you don't know what to watch out for. And this stuff can look good. How many of you guys have seen these? And you're like, hey, there's a screenshot. This guy has $100 grand in his PayPal. Do you know how easy that is to fake? Do you know how, like, literally, you could do that with a free program? Or how'd the money get in your PayPal? It's probably from people buying his course, right? So you're looking at it and you're like, hey, this is something I can do. The guy's got proof. He's got money. He's got a Lamborghini. He's got the big house. He's selling the lifestyle. He's getting you to feel something. And we're going to talk about these tactics. Here's another one. How to gain 1 million views in just 3 days. He posted it 2 years ago. He's got 7 views. If he knew how to get 1 million views in 3 days, do you not think he'd get himself 1 million views? I would kind of, I would think, maybe that video is not that important to him, but, you might think that that would work. What these people are doing is they're selling the lifestyle. They're getting you to dream about what you want. You're going to be able to stay home. You're going to get this Lamborghini. You're going to have a beautiful spouse. You're going to live on the beach. And they're selling the lifestyle. It's the old saying, sell the sizzle, not the steak. All right, I like to sell the steak because the steak, I make a pretty damn good steak. I can't have steak that much anymore because I got cholesterol issues, but that's beside the point, right? We got to look at that and we got to say to ourselves, hey, wait a minute. What are they selling us here? Because if I buy sizzle, it goes and it's gone. If I buy steak, I eat it. It gives me nutrients, raises my cholesterol, and it gives me something. All right. So do you want to buy sizzle or do you want to buy steak? Type it in the box. What do you want? You want sizzle? You want to feel good? Or do you want to do something that can actually make you change your lifestyle? Okay, very important. So what they're doing is they're selling the lifestyle, and, anyone can do this. I can go get a Rolls Royce today if I want to. If you want to. I think probably anyone on this call can probably get a Rolls Royce for at least a day. It might cost you $600 or $1,000 or whatever, but you can get it and you can make little videos about it and say, hey, I've arrived. And part of the problem here is that a lot of these people haven't been around long enough to know what's going on. They don't understand how to help other people. And this, I'll get into a rant here, is my big problem with American culture today. What we do is we look at people that made money as if they're the pinnacle, right? Just I don't care where you go on the political spectrum, but you take a look at Donald Trump, okay? People voted for him just because he had money. Like, let's face it, just because he didn't even have any plans when people started liking him. And he just made money, and they're like, well, he makes money. He ought to be able to run country. It's like, no, a guy who makes money and runs a country, it's not the same thing. It's completely different, and you have to look at this, and you have to start looking at things objectively. A guy here who's been doing this 6 months, who got lucky with a Shopify, that doesn't mean he's an expert in all business. There was a guy yesterday. He comes on live chat. Yes, we have live chat on our site, and sometimes I do talk to my students on there. And he comes on there, and he's like, I know everything about affiliate marketing. If I just had enough money, I'd be rich. And I'm like, well, what's stopping you? Go get the money and get rich. I mean, if I knew for a fact that getting 10 grand would make me rich, then I'd do it. And that's what he's saying. If I just had 10 grand, I'd be rich. And I'm like, well, go get it. What's stopping you? But he said to me, I know everything about affiliate marketing. And I was like, no, you don't. I don't. I've been doing this 21 years. I don't know everything about affiliate marketing. It's impossible, right? People that have money are not automatically the big genius guru. Some of them just got lucky. Some of them inherited it. Some of them fake it till they make it, which is the worst business phrase ever. Should be tossed out of the English language. And that's a fact. Stop looking at the lifestyle as proof of what you're going to get. Stop doing it. It's not going to work for you. When you look at it, you say, well, he's got a Lamborghini. I mean, come on, man. You don't just get a Lamborghini. Anyone can get one. Like, you go get one, it's like $2 grand a month or whatever if you pay on a loan, right? You can get a used one for even less than that. It doesn't mean anything. You see him in a big house. Doesn't mean anything. Does not mean a damn thing. What means something is what have they done? If you don't know how someone's making their money, don't ever buy their product. Ever. Don't ever do it. Why? Because you don't know what you're getting into. Would you go to the grocery store and go to the meat counter and they're like, hey, we have a surprise meat today. I've been cutting meat my whole life. It's a good meat. Well, what animal does it come from? It's a good meat. It's really good. It's only this much money. Would you buy it? I certainly hope not. We don't need to buy mystery meat, and we don't need to buy mystery programs. Know what you're getting into. When I talk to you guys about what I do, hey, you're going to get traffic on YouTube. You're going to buy traffic in some markets. You're going to get traffic on Google. This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to lead them to affiliate marketing. Okay, some of them will be like, here's how to get rich on Shopify. Okay, good, but teach me something. Very important. That brings us to number 2, which is these guys are all emotion, no education. All emotion, no education. You go on their trainings, and they're like, when I was a sad little puppy dog and I ran away, I didn't have a collar, and, you know, someone found me and gave me money, and they get your, you know, you get your feeling stuff. They get you to think, oh, I'm in that situation. I feel that way. And they leave you with nothing other than feelings. Why? It's easier for me to sell to your feelings than sell to your logic. Politics. Why is everyone divided right now? Because they sold to your feelings. It's not logic. It's not backed up by fact. It's a bunch of people yelling about a bunch of crap. Why? Because emotion sells. I want you to start to look at things logically. Hey, wait a minute. Where did that come from? Okay, so you did Shopify and you made a bunch of money. Good. How much did you spend? Okay. How much was profit? Because I can show you how much I earn, but what I actually put in my pocket is a completely different number. Completely different. And so we got to look at that and we got to understand it. We got to read between the lines, because here's the deal. I actually love going on other guru webinars because they usually have a little secret that I can pick up on. And I want to show you how to pick up on that, because you don't even have to buy anything. I don't buy their stuff. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Check this out. He just showed me it. There it is. And they'll show you. Like this here, he showed you that, hey, you know what? He knows how to rank for something that gets no traffic. But I'll bet there's a tactic he shows that I could be like, wait a minute, I'll use that. Very important. Okay? All emotion, no education. Start to look at things logically. Get the feelings out of it. Money doesn't feel. It has no emotion. It's papers. It's an invented thing. And we got to look at that and say, well, I'm going to look at the numbers. Another thing to watch out for is circle jerk promos. There's actually a screenshot that I have down here where I signed up for a guy's list. This guy's on YouTube and he's teaching all this marketing stuff. And, you know, you sign up for his list. Wait till you see how many emails he sent me in 1 month after signing up for his list. It's ridiculous. The guy's a freaking spammer. And you look at it and it's like, okay, what are they doing? They're doing circle jerk promos. You promote me, I'll promote you. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. We're all going to get rich. And who's left holding the bill? The guy buying the courses. Why? Because they're just going from thing to thing to thing to thing. That's why with mine, I want to make sure that you know what you're getting into. Make sure you're dedicated and saying, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. Right? When I set out, and guys, internet business is simple, okay? It's a simple process, but it takes dedication, it takes work, and you got to do it. People come to me all the time, Marcus, I just want to make $10,000 a month. I'm not greedy. And I'm like, well, okay, yeah, that's kind of greedy. But at any rate, he's like, I'll pay anything for it. And the problem is no matter what I say, some people are looking to buy a box of money. They're like, Margaret, I just want to buy your course and money's going to fly out of my wherever, right? Well, I'll leave that to something else. But money's going to fly out of wherever when I buy your course. And it's like, that's not their fault they feel that way. That's what they've been trained. They've been trained to think this way. You look at the ads, they're crazy. It's like, hey, you're going to make $1 million tomorrow. Just sign up today. Not going to happen. And what happens is you have all these people promoting the same things, and they do it on purpose because once everyone sees something, they're going to get a bunch of sales. Another thing they do is fake scarcity. All right. They're like, hey, there's only one more left as 20 people order. And they look at it and they're like, hey, there's fake scarcity. Now, you got to look at that and say, here's the deal. There's always opportunity. You don't need the ground floor. You don't need this. You don't need that. There's always opportunity. There's always someone taking advantage of opportunity, and you could take advantage of opportunity for free. Guys, I have like 760 videos here on my YouTube channel, and a lot of them show you really, really, really good stuff about how to make money, and you can use them and do it. As bad as that sounds, like, don't buy my stuff right away. I don't, go do it. Go learn. Try something out first. Get in there and do it and make it work. The scarcity's not there. I've been doing this 21 years for me to say, hey, this is the last one, you know, whatever. Now, sometimes there is real scarcity, like, you know, when I do a course where I'm like, I'm only going to allow 50 people because I can't physically, humanly have 1,000 people asking me questions at one time. Those kind of things do make sense, but make sure it actually makes sense. Make sure it actually works. Make sure that there's a reason. Very important. Another one we talked about already, beware the screenshots. Screenshots are so easy to fake. Even videos are easy to fake. If you don't know how the internet works or you don't know what's going on, it could be very difficult. Case in point, there was a political thing going on a couple months ago. And they were like, there was a guy, he did a video. And let me know if you saw the video. Say video if you saw the video. And this guy was like, all the money donated to this organization goes to Biden. And they had proof. They said, look, if I go here and I look at the thing, it says actblue.com and Biden has actblue.com too. So you're really donating to him. And it was this big conspiracy thing because people don't know how the internet works. I could do the same thing. I could say, look, all the money that goes to PayPal goes to eBay. Look, here it is. You go to eBay, everything's PayPal. No, it doesn't. It's like a bank. You got to understand how it works. And people get duped into this because they don't understand how it works. Your first job should be understanding how the internet works. How does this work? How does a link work? How does an affiliate link work? How does this stuff make sense? And if you get that, you're going to be able to see this. Like, I spot these screenshots a mile away and I'm like, oh man, that guy, you know, whatever. That guy's no good. But you got to look at that. Be wary of the screenshots and look at where they're from, right? If a guy has a PayPal screenshot, that means nothing. If a guy has an affiliate screenshot, that might mean something, but how much did he spend to get it? Or where did his traffic come from? Or what offers are they using? What are they doing to get that? Because oftentimes they're just going to show you their, you know, circle jerk screenshots from promoting everyone else's other stuff. And it's just a bunch of junk. And that's the question is, can you do it too? Can you do this? Now, some people will say, yeah, I want to do that. I want to get into the guru business or whatever. And you could, you know, whatever if you want to. But I'd much rather, like for me, if I see a guru screenshot that says I made $100,000 in a month and he's just the guru guy versus, hey, I made a website about how to train your beta fish to like do whatever beta fish do. And he made $500 in a month. I'm more excited about the $500 guy. Why? Because you could reverse engineer it. You could see how it happens. I'm more excited about the guy on YouTube with the meditation channel and the how to go fishing channel and the how to build your house channel than I am about the money guys, right? That's what impresses me. Why? Because that's something you can do. You could go out there into a niche and make it work. Another thing to watch out for is the almighty guarantee. It's like Tommy Boy used to say, they know all they sold you was a guaranteed piece of shit, right? And oftentimes that's it. They slap a guarantee on it and you think, oh, you know, it's pretty good, whatever. But there's all kinds of hoops to go through and everything like that. On my stuff, I think it's important to be upfront about it. I want you to make sure it's what you want to do before you buy it. That's why we have no refund. I want you to do your homework. Go out there, say, do I want to follow this system? Do I want to learn this stuff? Is Marcus the guy I want to learn from? Figure that out. Then when you're ready, buy stuff. That's why we have so many videos here for free, because I want you to learn stuff and say, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I could do that. Go get some results. Go make it happen. Another thing that they have is vague or blind copy. This is where they tell you about something, but they don't tell you what it is. I stumbled upon an ancient Amazonian secret that only 5 people in the world know about. I stumbled upon it as I tripped over a rock in the Amazon. My glasses flew off, and all of a sudden I was able to see. Do you want to be able to see? You know, and they go through this whole thing, but they don't tell you what it is. It might be like, you know, do the rain dance and you'll be able to see, or do this and you'll get rich. They tell you what you're going to get, but not what it is. Very important. Make sure you know what it is. Am I doing Shopify? If so, how am I doing it? You know, where do I outsource the stuff? Where do I get the traffic? If it's just how to make $1 million on Shopify, you know, that's kind of vague. That would be blind copy. Now, you do know it's Shopify, so they give you a little bit of a bone, but make sure it makes sense. Another one is the truth about social proof. Social proof is kind of interesting because reviews, purchases, all these things can be faked. Like, there's a thing right now with fake reviews that's insane. Like, literally, I'm at the point where I'm like, I really can't trust reviews online. And I'm going to show you, because here's a screenshot of a guy who's doing the same thing. He uses the same screenshot for everything. He makes up numbers. Like, if you add up the numbers, they don't even make sense. And he's promoting this wealthy affiliate thing. And it's like, yeah, okay. I mean, you basically go out there and say everything else is crap except for this wealthy affiliate thing. And obviously people are going to think, wow, these are unbiased reviews. But you know what? They're completely and utterly biased, and they're actually putting down a lot of products that are actually pretty good because they're just trying to sell their stuff, and they create confusion in the marketplace. Social proof, reviews, stuff like that can be faked. Also, another thing to be careful of is a huge price tag with no real understanding. If you don't understand something, don't pay a premium for it. If you don't get it, if it's just like, hey, you know what? We got the magic money system. Just pay me 10 grand and you'll get it. Don't do that. Make sure you understand what's going on. If no one can explain it. Years ago, a buddy of mine came to me. This is a guy I taught internet marketing to. He went on, he made like, I think 350 grand his second year doing it. And I was like, dude, yeah, that's pretty cool. Results not typical and blind or guaranteed. This was like a million years ago. But I taught him how to do it, and he got some results. And then he comes to me a year later and he's like, hey, dude, I've been kicking ass with this stuff, and you need to invest in this business opportunity. And he is flipping out. He's like, you need to invest. And I'm like, I'm not going to invest in that. It's horse crap. I need to push the BS button, not the money button. And he comes to me and he's like, you need to do this. I invested 60 grand in it. I'm going to double it next week. I'm going to put more. I'm putting everything I have into it. And I'm like, okay, good, good. How are they getting the money to pay you? And he goes, well, you know, they're going to get these. I said, get? They're going to get advert? No, now. How are they getting the money to pay you right now? Well, you know, they're going to do this and they're going to. Yeah, but if I'm going to invest my money, you sure as hell better tell me where I'm going to get paid from. And he's like, well, you need to invest. Let me get the owner of the company on. And he got the managers and the owners. And we were on this conference call and they're like, hey, you got to do this right now. Ground floor opportunity. Invest everything you have. And I'm like, where's the money going to come from? Well, we're going to do this. We're going to do. Okay. Where's the money going to come from? No, you don't understand. We got $120 million worth of investors right now. Good. How are they going to get paid? Well, you know, we got GM and these people that we're going to talk to. Going to talk to? How are you going to get the money? And no one could tell me how to get the money. And I knew it was a total crock. I listened because I didn't want to be rude to my friend. And later, he called me up 120 grand. Down the drain. Gone. Just like a fart in the wind. Completely gone. I was like, you should have listened to me, man. Like, this makes sense that it's not real. And that company, the guy got indicted for like embezzling 120 million. They're shut down. And now there's companies that pop up all over the place that are the exact same thing. We looked at Mobe by Matt Lloyd years ago. People said, oh, Marcus, you need to promote this. You need to promote it. I had friends of mine. I had colleagues of mine. You got to promote this. It's such a cash cow. And I'm like, yes, it could be a cash cow, but I'm not going to touch it with a 10-foot pole because the money comes from new people investing money in the scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a triangle. That's how it works. And they said, you got to promote it. You got to promote it. Actually, some affiliates went down with the ship. People lost thousands. And they got popped by the FTC, and now the dude's living in the middle of nowhere trying to start some new thing up. And you got to watch out for it. There's another one that's out now. And these guys, they got shut down. They came out with a new name. And people are joining it like crazy. And there are these big things where you pay $10,000, $30,000. You pay your 30 grand. You go to a big convention. Everyone's happy. And they're like, how are we going to make money? And they're like, you're going to go sell people $30,000 packages. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Why would you sell someone the idea to sell someone? Years ago, my dad had a friend, and this guy ran an ad in the newspaper. And he's like, hey, you want to get people to give you $27 over and over? Send me 27 bucks. And he sent a copy of the ad, said, run this ad, and you'll get people. And it's cute, but it's fraud. It's wrong. It doesn't work. Not everyone can do it. And that's what they got to look at. A lot of people are asking about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk to you. We're going to take some of the things that you guys are looking at, like ClickBank and stuff. We're going to answer your questions about those in a little bit. But I want you to understand there's fake reviews out there. Bad reviews, good reviews. There's fake stuff. There are companies that pay to have fake bad reviews to promote their own stuff. Like, this is a huge problem. Huge problem. And you can see here this screenshot. Guy uses the same thing for everything. Everyone gets the same score. His preferred business gets the best score. Come on now. All right, well, that looks good, and it does fool some people. We got to look at it and say, how's it going to work, and can I duplicate it? Now, part number 3, beware of the cost of free. Free sometimes can be more expensive than money. If I spend $100 on a book that promises to give me a result, and I spend a month trying to learn that book and implement the results, and the results never work, I have wasted something more valuable than money, which is my time. All right, you need to guard your time. You need to be very wise about what you're doing and say, hey, I need to focus on something that works, something I can see that's proven. Very important. You got to ask yourself, how much time is this taking? Does it get me off track of my goal? Some of you guys got a goal, and this is a big problem. They jump from thing to thing to thing, and all the marketers say, you have shiny object syndrome. You need to buy my course, and you won't have that anymore. All right, you're probably always going to have shiny object syndrome because everything looks good. The grass is always greener on the other side. But the success comes from being able to sit on your side and say, I'm going to mow this grass. Because if I keep mowing this grass, it'll be better than his grass. But if I go into his grass, I'll probably kill that too. But if I focus and I say, I'm going to do this, find one path, stick to it. This is why our high-ticket niche program is probably the best one I've ever come up with. Because what we do is we give you a niche. And we say, go do it. Unfortunately, most people don't do a damn thing with them. I check them a year later, they haven't done anything with them. And they're like, I didn't make money with it. Well, what did you do? Well, I got it. Well, what'd you do with it? You got to go build. You got to make it happen. Very important. Does it get you off track? If you're on a course and you're like, hey, I got this thing going, I'm building up my YouTube. I got this blog going, I'm building up my blog. Stay on the course. Build it, grow, learn. Another thing, does the free stuff actually work? Now, I watch the videos you guys watch where they're like, hey, you know what? You're going to make $1 million taking your shoes off every morning. You know, that's all you got to do is take your shoes off and you'll get $1 million. And you watch the video and it's 30 minutes of absolute horse crap and it doesn't teach you anything. And at the end, you're like, well, you know, whatever, I'll just subscribe and maybe he'll come out with something good. But they're wasting your time. Very important. Another thing, how are they making money? Don't ever buy someone from anyone until you know how they're making money. There you go. Problem solved. Write that down. Put it on your desk. How they making money. When someone comes to you, oh, I got the greatest opportunity you got to get into. Good. How you making your money? Well, you know, I get all these people to sign up for this legal plan and I'm making $100 each. Okay, good. Do the people actually want the legal plan? Or do they just want to make money off the legal plan? Well, you know, you get more money when they make money off the legal plan. Then you're selling a pyramid scheme. If the product is not viable, then, and if the product, people don't want it or it's crap, which, by the way, some of those legal programs are like complete and utter crap. All right, yeah, get a lawyer for $97. When have you ever gotten a lawyer for $97? When have you ever, like, looked at a lawyer for less than $90? Like, you see a lawyer down the street and somehow you just like, man, I just lost $1,000. I just looked at him. Right? And you're going to get one for night. But at any rate, I digress. You got to ask yourself, how are they making money? And if you find me funny, let me know that you're laughing too. Otherwise, I'm just a lunatic, which is probably true as well. So how are they making money? Learn from this. Sometimes I'll watch a guy who I know is a total like bad dude because sometimes you could see little tips and tricks he's using, not to do bad, but to actually do good. Right? Maybe he's like, hey, you know, the people on YouTube. All right, there's people on YouTube that teach absolute garbage. Fact. But they're getting a lot of views. I'm going to learn from how they're getting views, not what they're teaching. Right? What's he doing to get views? What are his thumbnails like? What are his titles like? What keywords is he going after? You can learn from this for crazy, 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 crazy stuff. Very important. All right, next, is there support and help? Oftentimes with free stuff, there's not. And what is being on their list about? This is a guy I signed up for. He's a YouTuber. Got tons of views. I envy his views. I learned from his views. I signed up for his list to see what he was selling, and he was selling one of those overpriced garbage things. And this is what my email box looked like from like a day. Right? I gave him my email, and I got like a zillion emails. I actually got over 171 emails from him in 1 month. And I didn't even sign up on the first of the month. Think about that. The guy is like totally spamming. That's what it is. It's spam. I mean, he did ask for your email, but you have to look at that. Okay? 171 emails in a month, and none of them have value. Buy this. Buy this. Buy this. Buy that. Buy. Are there any value? I hope that you guys get value out of my videos. I strive to give you value before I ask for anything in return. And half the time, I'm not even selling that big. Like, you can get my courses if you want to, if you like them. But I want to give you guys value. I want to teach you something that you can take with you so that I leave you better off than when you came to me. Or like, hey, you know what? I watched Marcus' video. I learned something good. May or may not try it, but let's do this. And you got to look at that, and you got to understand what value is. In the guru world, value is the same as saying poop, right? It's the same word because they're like, you know, that guy said this one thing, and it's so valuable. I'd pay $100,000 for 1 minute of his time. There was a guy I just recently saw. He's like, I'm going to have my coaching club up to $100,000 for you to join. And I'm like, okay, what did you do? Well, I got lucky with some Shopify thing, made a couple $1,000, then made a couple million selling my course about how I made a couple $1,000, and now you're going to pay me $100,000 because I got a lot of money. Get out of that mindset. Get out of the mindset. If people don't have what you want or what you need, run away. I don't care how much money they have, right? It's like if Bill Gates came and he's like, I'm going to teach you to get rich. I'd probably listen to him because he's Bill freaking Gates, you know? But, you know, he might not have what I need to get rich. He did Microsoft. He built a huge company. He does all kinds of things that I may or may not want to get into. But the problem is people go through and they're like, hey, this guy has the key. Like if a guy won the lottery, he's not an expert on how to play the lottery. Like seriously, people fall for this crap. And it's like, how are you an expert? You won the lottery one time. You got lucky. Yes, but you don't understand. I played it 500 times and I learned what actually worked. Yeah, lucky. No, it's not luck. It's luck. Sometimes there's luck. There have been times I got lucky. One of my sites did 7 figures. I luckily stumbled upon the niche. Now, by luck, I made $300 a day. Pretty cool. I just totally got lucky. I was like, I think this will work. Let's put it up. Made $300 the next day, 300 the next day, on and on we went. I was like, that's good. Now I took that luck and I said, I'm going to structure it this way. I'm going to buy some ads. I'm going to do this. Turned it into a 7-figure business, actually multiple 7-figure business. But I got lucky in the first. If I just got lucky and I'm like, here's how to make $300 a day, you can't duplicate it because I got lucky. But now I've learned how to do it, and I learned and reverse engineered, and now I can teach it to you, and people get results, but you have to understand that. Now, part number 3 is the most important part of this training. If you like this, smash the like button, put some comments in the box, give us a subscribe and a thumbs up and all that stuff, and let's talk about what's actually worth paying for. Write this down, keep it on your desk. When you go into a webinar, training, even mine, keep this with you and say, hey, does it match this? Does it make sense? And I guarantee you'll stop looking at things emotionally and you'll start looking at it logically. And if you're like a lot of my students, you're going to save a hell of a lot of money. Okay? What's actually worth paying for? Number 1, time-tested results. How long has a person been around? Have they done it twice? Right? Did they just get lucky on something? Like, oh, hey, I went on TikTok, a video went viral, and I got some money. Okay, yeah, maybe, maybe not. Is it time-tested? Can you do it again? If you can't do it again, be like, hey, buddy, why can't you do this again? What's the problem here? Okay? You got to have time-tested stuff. I've been around 21 years. I've been alive 41 years as of a couple days ago. So most of my life I've spent doing this business. I've duplicated things. I've seen things that don't work. I've gotten lucky a few times. I've reverse engineered things. I've helped people make a lot of money. And we got to look at that and say, is there time-tested results? This whole idea of, you know, this guy who just comes up out of nowhere and all of a sudden is the guru, you know, fake it till you make it is hogwash. It's absolute garbage. It's the worst self-help thing ever taught. You don't fake it till you make it. You go make it. Then you don't have to fake it. Go make it. Figure it out. It's not that hard. Here's the deal with this business. You're running around trying to find easy ways to make it happen, when if you took the same time and learned from someone who's done this a while, slow and steady, built it up, you'd get results. I remember years ago, I was over at a marketing conference, one of the first ones I went to, came here to Florida before I lived here. And this couple was weeping. I'm like, what the hell, man? Did I, what's going on? They're like weeping. And I'm like, what's wrong? And they told me their story, and they're like, we've invested $150,000 trying to learn this business, and, we're going to buy this new course, and we're going to do this new stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but what have you actually done? They're like, well, for 10 years, we bought these courses. I'm like, yeah, buying courses is fine. That's about as productive as, like, getting new shoes. It's not productive at all. And you go there, and I'm like, what did you do? I'm like, do you realize over the last 10 years, you would have at least 150 grand because you'd save it from buying courses, but you could have built something of value. I watched a guy in 2019 come out of nowhere. Dude's making like 80 grand a month now. He just built it slow and steady and built and didn't look back and kept going and improved and listened to people who had advice that would help him. Now, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. Are you going to make 80 grand next year or 80 grand a month next year? Probably not. Most of you probably won't do anything. That's a fact. I've run the numbers. Most people don't do anything. Is it that hard? Well, yes and no. I mean, I can write some articles. I can type some things. I can focus. I can get stuff out there. And if I slow and build and grow, I can get results. Now, can you do things fast? Absolutely. I've done things fast. You got to be deliberate. You got to understand it. You got to go and look at it. So does a person have time-tested results? Number 2, is the strategy plan something you want to do? Okay? I teach paid traffic. I teach list building. I teach affiliate marketing. I teach YouTube. I teach SEO. I teach all these. If you don't want to do any of those, if you're like, Marcus, I want to sell hot dogs on the side of the road, don't buy my course, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to do those things. Is there a strategy plan? Is it laid out where you build and build and build and grow? If it is, it might be a good one. If not, run away. Run away, because most people don't have a strategy plan. They haven't been around long enough to do it. Number 3, does a path make sense? Well, first of all, is there a path? Most people don't teach you a path in their free webinar. They're like, I got rich one day and you can too. Here's where to sign up. So you got to look at it and say, does the path make sense? Does it make sense? Okay. I find some keywords. I build a website, get the traffic from the keywords, and then lead them to affiliate offers. Yes, that makes sense. Or I make YouTube videos and I build them and I send them to the affiliate thing and I make money. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Yes, it does. Oh, I got rich on Shopify. Good. How? Well, t-shirts. Okay, what'd you do with them? What'd you do with the t-shirts? Right? If you got lucky and you did one about, politics 4 years ago, you might not be able to duplicate that now. And you got to look at that and you got to understand, does this make sense? Number 4, is there help and support? Can you actually talk to the people and learn? And if you have a problem, will they help you? Very important. Another thing, what's worth paying for? Okay? Shortcuts. Yes, there are shortcuts in this business that can get you way ahead of the game. Trial and error. Guys, I've done this 21 years. I guarantee there's something that I can teach you that's going to shortcut. I guarantee it. Why? Because I did 21 years of trial and error. So if I could save you that time, obviously that's going to be worth it. One of the stories I'll look at was a story they use in business a lot where they talk about this ship or submarine or something. And the submarine starts leaking water or something like that. And they call in the expert. And the expert goes up there and he turns a wrench and it's fixed. And he hands them a bill for 10 grand. And they're like, 10,000 bucks. All you did is twist a wrench. Are you crazy? That's stupid. And he's like, well, here's your itemized bill. Twisting wrench, $1. Knowing which wrench to twist or which thing to twist, $9,999. So sometimes there is something that can work. Sometimes you can go in there, you could show me your site, and I'll say, hey, do this. And you'll be like, dude, that tip was worth like a lot of money. So you got to look at that. If they can shortcut it in some way, teach you something that works, very important. But do they have the result you want? I go and I'm like, do I want more traffic on YouTube? Good. I'm going to go to a guy who has more traffic. Do I want to learn how to do Facebook ads? Good. I'm going to go to a guy who does Facebook ads correctly. Do I want this? And I go and I get it. Another thing that's worth paying for is structured learning. Is there a structure to the learning? Are they just giving you a book like the first one I bought where it's like, here's all the shit, figure it out? Okay, that's not really structured. But if they could give you a structured course, this is why like reading books is good, but going to college gets you a degree. Going to college gets you a degree because they go structured. They're like, we're going to teach you about the head and then the shoulders and then the knees and the toes in that order. And here's why you need to learn it, right? Structured learning can be worth a fortune. Now, you can go and you can do structured learning on your own, but you might not know how to structure it. Sometimes a course will have that structured for you. Number, whatever we're on. Does the price make sense? Very important. Does it make sense? Like, is it something that makes sense? Is it like, I'm going to give you one secret and it's $5,000? Okay. Does that make sense? What's the secret going to do? What's the secret about? How'd the secret work for you? Right? Very important. We got to look at that. So sometimes when you look at this, I've bought $2,000 products and they were absolute crap. I haven't bought $30,000 masterminds because I know some of them are absolute crap. And I haven't gotten big coaches. I know there's business circles out there where they're like, you got to have a core. They brag about how much they spend for their mentor. And I'm like, people are dumber than a box of rocks. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, you can get results without it. Like, does a mentor help? It might. What are they going to mentor you on? What are they going to teach you? What are they going to do? If I just get a mentor because I'm like, oh, well, everyone else is doing it. They're social proof, so I need to get a mentor. You got to look at that. And you got to understand what's going on. I'm going to tell you right now, most people on this call have no business getting a $30,000 or $100,000 mentor. You guys should start out with something basic that you can do, something you can work. You go to Tony Robbins and, you know, he's a good guy, I think. I think some of his stuff's pretty cool. Some of it, not so much. But you go to him and it's like, okay, what's he going to do? Is he going to make you rich? I don't know. He doesn't know what you're doing. So you got to go in and you got to focus and you got to look at what you want to do. Look at it. Does the price make sense? Does it make sense for a normal dude to just show up and be like 100 grand for coaching? Probably not. For most people, probably not. 30 grand? Probably not. Like, what are you getting at the end? Like 100 grand? I could go buy a Subway for 100 grand and I could get an instant 50 or 80 grand a year. Something like that. I don't know what it is, but you got to look at it and focus. Okay. So we got to look at that and we got to understand exactly what's going on. Okay. Next, where will you be? What will you get at the end? What are you going to get at the end? Okay. Very, very important. What are we going to get at the end? At the end of your course, what do I get? What do I learn? What do I have? All right. Some things are more concrete, like when you get a high ticket niche, we give you the niche, we give you the domain, we build the site, we give you the keywords, we give you the plan. Okay. All you got to do is go work it. When you buy something else, what are you getting? If you buy a Facebook course, is it just knowledge? Okay. That could be good, but how much is it? You know, you got to look at this and you got to really, really, really understand what's going on. Now, another warning is beware of done for you. Okay? This is probably the most dangerous word. Done for you. Done for you business. So you're telling me for, you know, $1,000 you're going to give me a done for me business that's making money? That's the premise, but it doesn't exist. There does not exist a done for you kind of thing. Even franchises take work and you got to do stuff and you got to do all these things, right? So be very careful. I don't sell done for you stuff because I'm not going to do it for you. I don't sell money at a discount, right? No one does. No one sells money at a discount. It doesn't work that way. So we got to be wary of these things. Is it going to take work? Yes, it's going to take work. Can you do it? Yeah, I think you can. But you got to go through and you got to be logical about it. And you got to understand that conspiracies and frauds work because people don't understand the internet. You don't know what you don't know. And you got to learn exactly what to do. And I hope that this training put you a step further, where you now understand, okay, now I know some of the things I didn't know. Now I know what to watch out for. Now I understand how this works. Now I understand what I need to do. And if you're looking for someone to help you out and you like my training, there's some things you can do. You can go to marcusmentor.me. It's a $77 a month program where you get my plugins, which is actual software. You get some videos, some trainings, and you get to be on the Tuesday calls. So for like less than $20 a call or something like that, you hop on the Tuesday calls and you ask whatever you want. You get it. You make it work. Very simple. SimpleSitesBonus.com. This is my full course where we go through and I walk you through everything. Like if you were to buy all of these lessons alone for like $1 each, it'd still be more on other sites because there's so much in here that teaches you everything from the video archive where it teaches you paid traffic, video traffic, memberships, get accepted, everything like that. And I think it's fairly priced at $297 right now, which is pretty cool. And we make it work, which is pretty cool. So you just got to get in there and say, hey, I'm willing to do it. And if you show up, I will help you. Right? Very, very, very important. And then lastly, we have our high ticket niches, which is where I give you a niche and everything. Now, our courses are non-refundable because I want you to do your homework first and say, is this what I want to do? Because if you say yes, we give you stuff. The high ticket niche, we actually get domain names and niches that we give to you. Simple Sites bonus, we're actually giving you software. Mentor Me, I'm actually giving you my time. So we got to look at that and we got to understand. So you got to focus and say, hey, is this something I want to do? Is this someone I want to learn from? And if it is, you go through and you say, yes, this is what I want to do. But make sure you want it first. Go watch this video again and say, do I understand what's going on? Do I do this? How am I going to do it? Is it what I want to do? And if it is, take a look at it. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't like that Marcus guy. I'll check out someone else. Follow this guide. Print this out. Go to downloadmynotes.com. We're going to have these notes up for you in about a day, and you can print them out, keep them on your desk, and when you watch a guru training, check the boxes. Say, hey, you know, does this make sense? Do I know what I'm getting into? Like, I really want to buy this, but does it make sense? So you got to go through and you got to do it. The best place to start is simplesitesbonus.com because it actually comes with the Mentor Me, and it'll come with all this other stuff as well, which is really, really cool. So, awesome stuff, guys. Thanks for being here. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell, smash that like button. Check out my other videos, and go to affiliatemarketingdude.com and get your free toolbar. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.